Oh, listen, it's taken me 8 years of long, hard work. I remember the first day I came to Hong Kong, I turned up at the track and I even got lost going to the track. I had to get the security guard to take me down to the sand area where the horses are saddled and ready for us. And, I looked around, I didn't know anyone. So I really had to start right from the bottom. I didn't know any of the owners, any of the trainers. And it's hard. When you come here, the top jockeys have got all the best stables and all the best horses and all the best owners sewn up. It's really difficult to get an opportunity.
What do you think was the breakthrough for you?
For me, things started to turn around towards the end of my first season. Ricky Yu had been using a jockey quite a bit, and they had a bit of a falling out. And I rode my first winner in Hong Kong for Ricky, and through that he always tried to throw me a ride whenever he could. And he came to me and he said, "Listen, there's an opportunity here. Would you like to, ride for my stable?" And of course, I was just hanging in the wind. I had nothing, and I said, "Yeah, we'll give it a go." And I ended up riding 10 winners in the last month. And if you ride 10 winners in a month here, you're flying. That sort of gave me the platform to come back the next season, and the confidence as well to come back and hopefully do a little bit better. And season on season, I just got a little bit more support and, slowly built myself up with the bigger stables. And, it's very important to be proactive. In the first season I wasn't. I didn't know how to manage myself properly. I didn't know how to chase rides. I'd always had someone to do that for me. And, I had to learn all that right from the beginning. And, it took me a lot longer than what it should. I just sort of sat back on my ass for too long. I should have been more proactive early on. And once I started to get on the phone and started to get out there and introduce myself and show myself around, I was able to start turning things around and really started to take off from that point.
Velocity in front from Penophobia and Straight Girl. The trio fighting it out. Aero Velocity, he's kicking on the inside. Penophobia's got the job to get him. Aero keeps kicking and Zac Purton takes out the sprint on Aero Velocity. Wins it by a neck to Penophobia.
What was the big learning curve? Did you realise you also have to be a PR man and a businessman?
Oh, you've got to run your own business here. You've got no one to hide behind. No one to blame. All the decisions you make are your own. It was more interacting with the trainers a little bit more. Getting out and making sure I met as many owners as I could. And, I think if they know you, they're more willing to give you a chance. Whereas if you just sit back and you're a face at the races and that's the only time they see you, it doesn't mean anything to them. So you've really got to promote yourself as much as you can.
So if you had to give any advice to a new jockey, even thinking of coming to Hong Kong to ride, what would you say? Don't come?
No, I wouldn't say don't come. It's a great experience. And I originally just came for that experience. I'd seen that every jockey that had gone to Hong Kong had came back to Australia and they were a much better jockey. They'd improved a lot. And like you said, in a business sense, they learned to handle themselves better. They come back a lot better rounded person. You're riding against jockeys with many different styles here, and you're riding against, under a lot of pressure all the time. So you get back to Australia, it's basically like riding in a barrier trial. Things seem to happen in slow motion, and you're a lot better off for it. So if the opportunity's there, and you're able to come to Hong Kong, I'd say do it. There's no harm in trying, and you'll never know if you don't give it a go.
Right. But what advice would you give someone new who's coming? What would their first steps be?
Oh, listen, everyone comes here with higher expectations than, probably what they're going to get. Come here with a very sort of humble personality, and be prepared to work hard and be prepared to ride a lot of shit. There's a lot of slow horses here. It's difficult to get on the right horses, but you've got to be realistic. You've got to know that if you're not on the right horses, you can't win races. It's as simple as that. And just try and learn as much as you can off the other jockeys, the way they operate and the way they ride, and you're gonna learn a lot and further your career quite fast. Here it just fast tracks you. What might take 5 or 6 years to learn overseas, you can learn here in 6 or 8 months. So, you know, it's about what you want to get out of it. If you want to come here and be champion jockey, you've got to expect to work hard for a number of years to get there. It's not going to happen overnight. If you're going to come here for a little bit of experience and go back to where you come from and be better for it, well, you're going to get that.
Then endowing, ambitious Dragons winding up on the outside. Military Attack back to the rails. Gold Fund going after blazing speed. Military Attack the fence, but Gold Fund just in front. Military Attack dives on the wire. Oh, I think he got there. Military Attack has dived at Gold Fund.
What about, you know, there are jockeys who think Hong Kong is still a place to make quick money. What do you say?
It's a wrong attitude to have. You know, if you're coming to Hong Kong thinking you're going to be a millionaire and thinking you're going to have pockets full of cash, you know, it's a wrong attitude to have. 1, you're going to get in trouble. 2, you're going to get disappointed. You're going to get incredibly frustrated. You know, sure, there's a lot of money to be made here, but it takes you a while to get to that position where you're getting on the right horses in the right races and the right horses in the big races where you can make that money. But until you've worked hard, you've earned your straps, you've done the groundwork, that doesn't come overnight. And if you come here thinking it's going to, well, don't bother coming.
So how do you think you've changed in the last 2 years since winning the championship to where you are now, and where do you expect to go?
Listen, in some respects the pressure is off because I set myself the goal to win that championship. I'd done everything I could every day to try and win that championship. I thought about it every day. It was, you know, it was absorbing my life at one stage, but, you know, I've done it. I might do it again, I might not. If I don't, it don't matter. I've done what I wanted to do. But through doing that, Hong Kong is a brand place. They love their Louis Vuitton, they love their Rolexes, they love a brand name. So if you're a champion jockey and you're riding lots of winners, they want you. So I've got to a position now where a lot of owners want me, but as well as that, I've finally got to a position where I've got a few big stables behind me. So I'm not guaranteed rides, but I'm getting offered the right rides, and if I can continue to ride winners, I keep getting offered those rides. So I'm in a position now where, you know, I'm a lot more relaxed about things because I know the rides I've got coming up, you know, they're going to be competitive. Obviously barriers are very important and track bias and all that sort of stuff, but I know I've always got the right rides coming up. And with support, you know, you're not trying to grab onto something that you don't have. And once you get support here, you know, it's very comforting. And I think because I got the position I'm in and I've got that support, for some reason I've just been able to relax because of it.
And where to now for you?
Well, for me, obviously, you know, the championship is always there. This season, unfortunately, I missed 2 of the first 4 months of the season, and I've had a lot of suspension since and a number of injuries, so I haven't given myself a chance at all to do it. But, you know, you always come back every season hoping you're going to be competitive in it, and there's no reason why I'm not going to be. But as well as that, it's getting on the big horses in the big races. I always wanted to win the Hong Kong Derby. It's the biggest race in Hong Kong. I managed to do that this season, so, you know, that gave me a great deal of satisfaction. You know, there's 4 international Group 1 races in December. I've won 3 of them. There's 1 to go. I'd love to win the extra 1. I think I'd only be the second jockey in history to win all 4. That's another thing to strive towards. I got beat ahead in the Cup last year, so I came very close. But as well as that, you know, there's big races around the world. I'm going to Japan again in our off-season, so I just like to do well there. I'd love to win a Melbourne Cup. I'd love to win a Golden Slipper. You know, I'm going to Singapore again on the weekend. I'd love to win again down there. You know, I'd love to win in Dubai. There's all these big races around the world that, you know, I'd love to take part in. Even America, like a Kentucky Derby or something like that. I touched on before, the Arc. I'd love to win the Arc. So there's a lot of races all throughout the world that I'd love to have the opportunity to win. Unfortunately, because I'm in the place that I'm in, some of them are out of reach, but they're not always going to be. There may be an opportunity at some stage where, you know, I'll be in a position where I can win those races. But yeah, you know, I'm just like every jockey. I just want to win as many races as I can, win as many Group 1s as I can, and, you know, just continue to do well.
Fly, and further back to the inside is Romantic Touch. It's Luger in front in the Derby. Romantic Touch and Godfly giving chase. Luger just in front. Purton relentless here, and he gets Luger home in the Derby. Luger beats Godfly and Romantic Touch. Helene Happy Star got up for fourth. Then Thunder Fantasy, Contentment, Giant Treasure. Then Beauty Only. Next in Anticipation, Gun Pit, Golden Sleep, Obliterator and Dynamism. What a win in the Derby. Zac Purton's first ride for John Size this season. He's been 3 wide the trip, but he's all class. Luger holding Godfly at bay, and Romantic Touch has run a very cheeky race at 200 to 1 by running third in front of Helene Happy Star.
If you had to describe Hong Kong, racing in Hong Kong, to a jockey that's never raced here, what would you say?
It's exciting. You know, every single race we have, you have to make all the right decisions. You don't get given any race. The handicapping system is so tight that you just can't afford to make a mistake. You've got to be in the right spot at the right time and make the right moves at the right time. You've continually got to keep putting yourself in the right position in a race, so you can never ever relax. They get big crowds. There's massive turnover. You know, the club expects excellence. They've got the best trainers here. They've got the best jockeys here. We race for the biggest money. You know, we've got a lot of our horses now are rated in the top 20 horses in the world. For a horse population of 1,200, it's incredible that we've got so many horses there. We've got the equal highest rated horse in the world at the moment, and the number 3 horse, as well as 2 others in the top 10. So, you know, if you want the best, Hong Kong is the best.